many of us have grown up either reading the books or watching the TV show. He's as popular today as he ever was. Good old Thomas. The stories were originally created by the Reverend Wilbur Awdry to entertain his young son Christopher when he was bedridden with measles. Goodness. And after his father retired, Christopher took over the writing of the Railway series and then created new characters and new adventures. And I'm really pleased to say that this June he's discussing his life in a one-off show at London's Hammersmith Apollo, and it's hosted by rail enthusiast Pete Waterman. It should be a fascinating show. It's called 85 Years of Letting Off Steam, and I'm really pleased to say that Christopher joins us live on the show this afternoon. Hello Christopher, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
Very good.
How are you?
I'm good, and so excited to hear that you're going on stage. It's a one-off. Where did the idea come from?
Well, when my book about the island of Sodor was published, the publishers decided that there'd be a good opportunity for me to do this. That wouldn't have been possible to do it earlier. But yes, it's looking forward to it.
Absolutely. There is so much to tell, Christopher. I mean, when you reflect on, as I said in the introduction, the fact that you know, your father initially invented Thomas, but you added the characters afterwards when you took it on when he retired. It is quite a story to tell.
Yes, I made excuse me. I made up a few extra things, extra characters to jolly things along, and not get stuck in a rut.
Absolutely. So, Christopher, are you responsible for engines like Gordon and James and the additional engines?
No, Gordon and James were both father's.
They were originals.
Creation. Now you've asked me, I'm not immediately sure which engines I have created. But.
What do you think it is, Christopher, that the whole idea of Thomas the Tank Engine has spanned so many generations? And, you know, I feel a privilege to talk to you because watching the TV shows and reading the books, and it takes me back to when my daughter was kind of 1, 2, 3 years old. Love watching Thomas on the TV. My son's called Thomas, so
yeah, good choice.
Absolutely, you can't really go wrong. But of course, you have that connection, and again with the additional engines with the different names, you have that connection. But there is something about a railway that instantly makes it a bit romantic. We just have we don't do it with, I don't know, taxis, do we? But with railways, it's very, very different. Why do you think that is?
I'm not quite sure, but taxis don't have much of a personality, do they? A railway engine is full of action, if you like. You could see it moving, you could see why it moves. It does a useful job. Maybe that's what appeals. I've never been sure about that, and I don't think Father ever was too, except he would say that an engine has a character all of its own, was one of his favourite quotes, and it's quite true.
And I suppose it did with steam engines, but I don't know whether we can say the same about, I don't know, the Great Western Railway Service. And no offence to GWR, but do they have personalities, I wonder, compared to the good old days of steam?
Well, they don't have steam. That's perhaps the crucial point. A taxi doesn't have any character, as I said. An engine, the current railway engines at least are, as one person described them, smelly tin boxes. But not that that's any meant to be any denigration of any sort. But,
of course.
They don't quite have the character that steam creates.
Yeah. I wonder, Christopher, what your father would have made of his initial idea, because we talk about the TV show, but it's not just that, is it? I'm thinking,
No.
I ended up buying, the toy Thomas that went round on a kind of wooden railway track at home for my children, and let's not forget a lot of the heritage steam railways right across the country have visits from Thomas where we see his face on the front of engines, and thousands, Christopher, turn out to see Thomas, an idea that your father came up with all those decades ago. How does that feel?
It's, I suppose, inspired is the quick answer, but it's more than that, really. It's a feeling that those children are entering into a part of a family, if you like. That the engine character creates. I don't think that's being very coherent, actually, but it's a feeling of family.
Yeah. And it's the coming together, it's the community, isn't it? And the shared interest. Christopher, it's a pleasure to talk to you this afternoon. We look forward to seeing you on stage the 25th of June at the Hammersmith Apollo, and I really hope it goes well alongside Pete Waterman. Thank you for joining us on the show this Monday afternoon.
That was very kind of you. Thank you.
Thank you.